I was like, who's this?
It obviously is you.
Good evening. I'm your host, Shay Nkrumah. I'm joined with my other host, Lady Shay, and we are joined with our guests tonight, Shabaka Sankori and Chris Jamada. He just left. Hopefully, he comes back. And tonight, we will be discussing several things. The first thing is, of course, Tangibles 2021. The Black News Channel is failing and having to lay off people. Kim Potter found guilty of second and third degree manslaughter in the death of Daunte Wright in Minnesota. Getting off the Democratic plantation. California Governor Gavin Newsom passed new law for online delivery drivers. COVID pill has arrived. Unhoused Neighbor News, and Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps, and anything else that we have time to discuss. So, I'm going to start us off with tangibles. This is the decade of tangibles. As I've pushed on numerous shows, we're going to demand something for our vote. If we're going to continue to participate, cooperate with the political process.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Carry on, gentlemen. I apologize.
If we're going to continue to participate or cooperate with the political process, we're going to demand something tangible for our vote. Otherwise, we're not going to vote. And both of the Democratic and Republican parties can both collapse before our very eyes.
Right.
Over of them just taking our vote for granted. Politics is an exchange, not a gift. It is
Right.
pro. If I give you my vote, I want something in return. Our people are the only people that fail to realize this basic logic of politics. So here on Frontline Black News, we're banging the drum along with other news, not news, but new black media outlets are banging the drum that, look, it's tangibles or no votes. So the hashtag originated in 2020 with the brother Tariq Nasheed, and we're still pushing it here in 2021, going into 2022. And next year, it will be Tangibles 2022. We're not letting up, Black family. We're going to continue to demand something for our vote. This is going to be a marathon, not a sprint. We are demanding reparations in the form of $100 trillion for past, present, and future atrocities that have been brought against our people and continue to be brought against our people. And we're not letting up, Black family. So we're in this for the long haul. This is going to be a marathon, not a sprint. It's not going to be something that's overnight. It's going to be something that we got to stay the course on and have our do our due diligence and continue the good fight. So that's what Tangibles 2021 is about. And like I said, next year it'll be Tangibles 2022. They're not going to continue to lump us into broad, ambiguous terms such as people of color, minorities, marginalized, disenfranchised, disadvantaged, underserved, underprivileged, underrepresented, and the list goes on and on and on. So the Democratic Party, we see you. We're exposing you.
Right.
We're exposing your malign neglect policy.
Right.
Which has not benefited us one iota. And
Facts.
we've been voting Democrat for the past 50, 60 years, and we have got nothing tangible for it. So the days are over of us just voting just to be voting. So if I was the Democrats, I would be running scared right about now, and
Absolutely.
because you are losing your base. We were supposed to be the backbone of the Democratic Party, and you have not produced any tangibles. So in 2022, when the midterms come up, don't expect us to participate or cooperate with this political process. Expect us to not vote at all and let the Republicans take office, because that's what's going to end up happening. Because you Democrats ain't got nothing coming, and we still waiting on you Biden supporters to tell
Yes,
us
sir.
what tangible benefits we're getting from a Biden administration. Because Biden's been
Yes,
in
sir.
office for over a year, and he's given tangibles to every other group but foundational Black Americans, American descendants of slavery, the people that built this country, the people who
Yes, sir.
this country's wealth was generated off the backs of, and they still have not received any tangibles. This is why he is failing in the polls. This is why him and Kamala Harris are doing so poorly in the polls, because you don't have us anymore, Democrats. We are getting off the Democratic plantation, and we're going to discuss that later. Um, the fact that a lot of Black people are getting off the Democratic plantation. Um, so stay tuned for that. Um, General Sabaka, did you have anything to add about Tangibles 2021?
Oh, yes, sir, indeed. Yeah, we are definitely pushing for tangibles 2021 is because, as I've stated out here on social media, I'm here in the Deep South. This is my first trip here. The song by Billie Holiday of The Strange Fruit is definitely going through my mind. We have built this damn country off of our free labor. In addition to, we have voted Democratic blindly. And a very, very sad note that I came across today. Okay, earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, I Googled the address to Dr. Martin Luther King's boyhood home, I believe. I passed by it. The neighborhood was blighted. I saw no plaque of his residence. The house was tore up. It looked like, actually, I hate to say, it looked like it should have been condemned. If a great rain comes through here, or if they had earthquakes out here, it will come down. Now, the sad part about this here in regard to Dr. King's legacy, he stated, you judge a person by the content of their character and not the color of their skin. However, I believe with them not preserving his boyhood home was based on the color of his skin.
Oh, of
Okay.
course it was. And they
Indeed.
love that quote. They love that quote. White people love that quote. That is their
Yes,
favorite
sir.
MLK quote. But they won't
Yes, sir.
quote him when he said, "We're coming to Washington to get our check."
Yes, sir. Without a doubt. And I find it very, very interesting about how this miseducational system of the American public school system is a farce. It has our youth hating themselves, particularly our young men who are supposed to be evolving into men, going around with skinny jeans, pink tennis shoes on, sagging, showing a crack of their ass, thinking that this is manhood. Now, Black family, let's look at the word sagging, S-A-G-G-I-N, and spell it backwards, and you got N-I-G-G-A-S, niggas. Okay, so this is what they think of us. And as Dr. Frances Quest Welsing has stated in her brilliant writings is that they would have this crap perpetuating itself without us even realizing its existence and its effect. They say that's the power of dumbing down our youth. And then Dr. King, you know, who was only 39 years of age when he died, I remember the day that he was assassinated, April 4th, 1968. And it is a shame. No, it is a goddamn shame that you don't have no type of official recognition of that man's residence that I saw today. I was appalled of what I saw of the remnants of Dr. King's residence. You say, if anything, there should be a plaque up there. It should have been rebuilt, remodeled, or do the exact duplicate of it, of building it up. It was in the heart of the hood. Okay, great, beautiful. But to sit up here and say to sit next to a toilet with a white man is progress, we are out of our motherfucking minds to believe that shit, and excuse my language on it. It's
Oh well,
very bad.
this show is uncensored. It's for those that are 18 years or older, so you're
Oh,
good.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And definitely check out God versus the Devil tomorrow on Blog Talk Radio on Shabaka's Black Experience. That is being hosted, by the great doctor, who dropped knowledge very, very well last Sunday on the maiden show of that one right there. We ironed out a few kinks, but as you know, when you're in the process of creating greatness, you're going to have some flaws right there that you just simply sand it down. It's a diamond in the rough. But I'm appalled about what I saw in regard to Dr. King's residence, where it was not preserved. You did not see no historical plaque. I doubt it very seriously based on what I saw, if it's in the National Registry with the U.S. Department of Interior. And if I got my facts correct on that, by all means, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not the most brilliant as so-and-so, but at least I do know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Half the time, that is. And that was very, very disturbing to me today.
Yeah,
It really was.
disturbing. That is disturbing. That should be disturbing. It should disturb every last one of us.
Oh, indeed. Absolutely. Indeed. And then quite naturally, of course, the white media wants to erase certain figures out of our pro-Black history. And Frontline Black News and Shabaka's Black Experience enhancing a revolutionary network, the revolutionary agenda, I'm sorry, is not going to let that happen. So
Right.
we want to give a shout out there to all Black media. Definitely give a shout out there to Outlaw Radio. Definitely give a shout out there to Black I Stand Radio. Definitely give a shout out there to New Black Knowledge, and definitely give a shout out there to Shabaka's Black Experience Enhance. Definitely free all of our political prisoners who are wrongly incarcerated, who've been in prison and in solitary confinement for 40 plus years. Okay, that, folks, is a human rights violation. And then you hypocrites, you know what I mean? Like all you Biden supporters, we're still waiting for you to call in Tuesday night on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. And once again, the number is 516-418-5996, and press 1, and we'll be more than happy to have you on the air. Now, Sleepy Joe has been in office almost over a year. The quality of our lives have turned to shit. They got this alphabetized shit, Delta variant, Omicron, Corazon, or whatever type of prepackaged bullshit that you got. And also, too, with me being down here in Atlanta, Georgia, I believe this is where you crooked, no good bastards at the World Health Organization, I believe it is, Brother
The
Che.
CDC.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. The Centers for Disease Control. So you cats need to get up off of your asses and start doing your fucking jobs about how this shit is keep going on and on and on again. Omicron, Delta variant, the COVID. This shit was made in a damn laboratory, Black family. And then also, too, if I might say, Brother Che, is that the space cowboys are once again going up there in the outer space. Research that we have done briefly is that they want to put about anywhere from 12 to 22 satellites over our continent. And of course, we know what that's all about, to make sure that we do not organize to safeguard our vibranium, as they said in the movie Black Panther. But today, the vibranium is the silicon, cobalt, bauxite, tungsten, chrome, gold. And see, all that there comes from our continent, and you neocolonialism in this, or neocolonialist, right? you're nothing more than puppets for these Eurocentric devils who are hell-bent on our self-destruction. They're hell-bent on our destruction. This is why they don't want black men standing up, being men, and being in their homes. They want black men on dope, in prison, and feminized, dead.
Yep.
That is what they want in regard to us, Brother Che.
Yeah, you're right.
Yes, sir. You know, and then on top of it too, Brother Che, if you want to choose an episode for Tuesday night, sir, please produce it.
Yeah.
Can I choose one, Brother Shabaka?
Yes, ma'am. What is it?
I was sort of thinking about how we look at the way how black people are looking at black people in each other. You know, I've been hearing a lot of weird things. Like, why do I say weird? But they're like certain black people talk to other black people. They're like, look, it's not us. It's not white people. It's us. The people look like us that are doing this. That kind of thing.
We're our own worst enemy talk.
Yes, I'd like to talk about that, Brother Shabaka.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
I don't know how to arrange that properly.
Okay. All right. Here's how to arrange it. Mad Dr. D, before his passing, he did mention that we got to discuss what we do to ourselves, and we had an episode called The Enemy Within. Okay, so I'm asking y'all to go through the archives is because my schedule currently, you know, is sporadic, and I don't know if we did a part 2 on it or not, but if we did not, we'll make that The Enemy Within part 2. But if we did do a part 2, then we'll make it The Enemy Within part 3. It's because we are all we got, black family. We are all we got. It's because these OTBs, meaning these other groups other than black, they don't mean us no damn good. What they want to do is sit up there, capitalize off of our blood, because they weren't out there getting hit with fire hoses. They were not out there getting police dogs sicked on them. And John Lewis, is that who it was who was talking about good trouble?
Yeah.
Okay. All righty.
May he rest in peace.
Yes. Okay. See, we got to change that narrative on that black family.
Yeah, you either get in trouble, you're not. Yeah.
Right. And I do believe that we do have the capabilities to accomplish this. Is because, as Dr. Huey P. Newton had stated, is that the police are in the black community. They're there to brutalize us, they're there to contain us, and they're there to control us, and they're there to kill us.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's the
and you saw you saw what happened to the party. They had infiltrators in there that brought the party down through methods of extortion. You see what I mean? In regard to what happened to Chairman Fred Hampton, in regard to what happened to Chairman Geronimo Pratt. Thank God for a guy who was an attorney out of Los Angeles who took a lot of pro bono cases for black people by the name of Johnny Cochran. And he himself, from what I understand, was putting together a package for reparations for the black community. Now, all you other groups, yes, sir. And then he came up mysteriously deceased. Now, for all you other groups out there, this is not hatred towards you. Okay.
Yeah, because they usually confuse it too. They say that we hate Mexicans and we hate all these other people. No, we love our people first.
Exactly, just like they love their people first. Just like the Irish love their people first. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, so that means we're gonna love our people first as well too. Now, to all you rappers out there in Los Angeles, New York City, Chi-Town, or what have you, ladies and gentlemen of that industry, would you please change your motherfucking lyrics and make it be something positive? Because I'm tired of getting cussed at, you know, when I listen to some music. Motherfuck this. B-I-T-C-H. That, man, that shit is dispiriting.
Yeah, it is. But, you know, we don't control the industry.
Indeed.
The execs do. And they put that trash out there. A lot of them artists, they could rap conscious if they really wanted to, but because they're bound by the stipulations of whatever contract they sign before they read it, they're not able to do that. But yeah,
Right.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. They could be making more conscious music.
Yes, sir. And like I said, and I appreciate the art of rhythm and poetry that evolved from rhythm and blues, that evolved from quote unquote rock and roll. You see what I'm saying? And then also too, Black family, another thing that we created, but the brain dead want to call it all. It's an American invention. That is jazz. Okay, so for you musicians who sit up there and listen to Beethoven and Bach and all them Eurocentric tricks, turn you on some jazz.
Yeah,
Check out Miles Davis. You
right,
know, check out Coltrane.
right,
Check out Quincy Jones. You see what I mean? See, music is supposed to soothe the soul. You
right.
know, not coming to you with all these negative well, motherfucker, I got to kill you, my nigga, that, but man, that shit is disparaging and it's stupid.
Yeah, it is.
It is fucking stupid. And I'm just waiting for the time, and I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts, and I don't have the $50 bill tonight,
Mm.
unfortunately. Okay. I'm
Let me see.
willing to bet dollars to donuts, okay, as that these cracker rappers, yeah. A new
Like the
term right there.
M&Ms.
Yeah. Let's hashtag that brother Che, the cracker rappers.
Yeah, like
Okay,
Eminem.
you plagiaristic sons of bitches. You know what I'm saying? I'm just waiting for one of you motherfuckers to come out there and use that term nigga on your shit.
Yeah, call yourselves a bunch of white trash and a bunch of honkies
Yeah,
on
exactly. Call yourselves
record.
cave beasts and shit like that is
Cockatoos.
and cockasaurs because at the time that our people were building pyramids, creating brain surgery, and gave the world the concept of washing your stinking nasty asses, you motherfuckers was up there living in caves, crawling on all fours, eating raw meat, and calling yourselves superior.
Yep.
I really, in regards to that Pepsi challenge about the transgendered wannabe women like shit that we're always talking about, and you got the $100 bet, right?
Yeah.
$1,000 bet. I had an interaction this week, and I've just been really sick, and I haven't finished addressing it. But I had this thing on Facebook. So I got your news feed. You get everybody else's shit too, and there was a sign. I perceived it as a dude holding a sign that said "Trans girls are girls too" or some shit like that. And I said, it just made me. I was real reactionary. It made me really, really upset. And
Okay,
I was
I
like,
got a
I
question.
addressed it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, clarify something on me is because I'm pretty much old now.
You know.
So
Hmm.
when they say that transgender girls are girls,
Yeah, we're
okay,
on the
so
same
they
page.
saying that a transgender. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. So
Hmm.
the transgender girl is that a girl who wishes to be a male, or is that the male who's trying to call himself a girl?
That's the
The male
man
trying to
that's
be a
trying to
girl.
be a girl.
That's the man that's trying to be a girl. So
Hmm.
once again, this motherfucker cannot menstruate, he cannot ovulate, and he cannot bear children.
Hmm.
Okay, and I'm supposed to refer to this particular individual as a female,
Hmm.
the one with no estrogen.
Yes, and so this is how it went down, right? Yeah, you're right. You're right. We're on the same page. I was like, I got upset and I wrote on it. I said, no, they're not. I said, I'm a girl, and that's a fact. If that was the case, make me a believer. Since that's not the case, go on ahead and drop that rack, right? That $1,000 on the
Right,
website. We have a show and prove you're a woman, a functioning woman like me. Pepsi challenge
right.
going on. Fuck what you think. I'm a real girl, and this is an insult to my divine feminine essence. You just want to be a woman. I'm an actual woman, not a dude with a dress on. Stop offending real women, and I mean what I say, right? And
Yes, ma'am.
I feel like very, very, very real about this because I'm an actual girl, a real girl, and everybody, you're not gonna be everybody's fan. Everybody's gonna like you. And so there's someone else commented, which we dialogue a few times, me and this other person, and they say, and I really haven't had a chance to address it yet. And they're glad that you brought this up because they say, how did she? They say, how does another person's life and path affect yours so much? If it seems that both parties should be able to live their truth without hurting each other. I'm just confused why trans women are so offensive to you. And then so another gentleman got on, was like, he can hear, he can pop right back in. I got on and said, yeah, he said, I agree with the creator of the post. Y'all keep enabling this nonsense. You can be a gay guy all you want and attracted to men, but now that you want to claim that you're an actual woman, that is crazy. Get off of her for speaking her truth. If you think it's fine to cut your dick off and have a pseudo vagina, fine. But I back the sister who wrote this post. Question is, why were you so worried about what she had to say? And I wanted to respond to that. I didn't really have a chance because I was sick, and I wanted to respond to that. I'm a real girl, like, and I say like Pinocchio, he turns into a real boy. I'm a real girl meaning I function with all the discomforts of being a girl, as long as the good things of being a girl. I can, I can wear makeup and it's gonna be all right. I'm a girl.
Right.
I can wear dresses. I'm a girl, like a real one. I function like God created me as a regular woman. I can bear
Right.
children, and that right there is a fact. Whether as a man you decide that you want to put on a dress and pretty makeup, it's you just wanting to be a woman. Now, I understand, and people look at me, you're not the finest woman, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But I'm still a woman,
Right.
a regular woman.
Right.
And what is a natural thing, Whereas when you do something like this and then you want us to accept this falsity as a fact, it isn't. It's not the person, it's the agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
This person is most likely very, very nice. We've had married a couple of dialogues and never really had a beef. It's the agenda. It's the agenda that is false to me. It is an offense to me, because, or should be an offense to any real regular woman, and that a man can participate in women events dressed as a woman, portraying himself as a woman for however long he wants to be this said woman, to accomplish whatever agenda goals, passes, whatever you want to call it. Because now look, the LGBTQ plus whatever the fuck your confusions are
Right.
their agendas very clear, which is also a distraction to our black power, black empowerment, tangibles. Let's get that reparations, cut the check, stop talking to us, what sit the fuck down type shit that we got going on.
Right.
They're putting themselves and all this other buffer shit in the way of our us standing up for ourselves and progressing forward. It's already hard enough. We're already been at the bottom of the pyramid of fucking whatever, right? And it's hard. But to state something that is like theatrical as a factual statement, it is an offense. It's the agenda. It's the force of, you must accept I'm a girl when I'm really a man. I can participate in events with girls, i.e. the MMA thing. That was a man that beat on a girl. If you really want to be.
Excuse me, if I may interject on that there, Sister Brenda, you are absolutely correct on that. And whatever athletic commission that sanctioned that bout with that man fracturing both those women's skulls in MMA, the athletic commissioner and the promoter of those matches belong in fucking jail.
Show that right there. You see,
because that's women endangerment.
That look right there. If you put it up there like that, like real close, and you look at that picture, that looked like a man holding up a sign. And I mean, that don't look like a very feminine or a woman. I've viewed women, feminine. I'm very feminine.
That's a man.
I'm feminine. I'm not no tomboyish type of girl. So I'm looking at it in the eyes of how everybody would look at as a stranger. That is a man holding a sign up. I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, forgive me. I guess I'm sorry. You confused me. You know what I mean? Uh, I think look at it like this: like all the events now that were women were only allowed women, i.e. the Miss USA, the pageants that only women were allowed to participate in pageants are now allowing and letting individuals, transgendered individuals to dress and act. Or do you may dress, shave your shit down if you must, lower your voice, lower your testosterone if you need to become whatever it is you perceive, right? Go ahead and do that. Um, that shit is crazy to me. Now they're in our pageants. Now they're in shit that is no longer women dominated, or women they were just for women. Now they're
Yeah,
people that could just be a woman. You got men beating up on women. They are an MMA fighter. Look, if women want to box each other up, and they're women, that's designed for, well, two women to beat the fuck out of each other. One wins, peace out, right? The two girls. There's equal opportunity right there. Rob, but it's not fair when I was a man, like if there's a man and I'm in the ring with a man who looks like a woman, and while I'm expected to try to win this, it is just genetics. He's going to be stronger. He's going
Right.
to be more aggressive. He's going to be more. There's going to be not that natural testosterone that I will not be able to defeat if I wanted to.
right.
A grown man. I may be a woman, the same height, possibly weight. I doubt that, but that is a man who is denser, harder, stronger, more determined to lay. That's his job. A man's job is to protect and defend, right? So am I gonna? How am I gonna feel I have any chance in that
Okay.
arena?
Okay, now if I may say on that there, man's job is to protect and defend. Okay. Um, I'm not gonna mention the name of the movie because I'm not out here to promote Walt Disney.
Mm.
Okay. But of course we know the movie that Chadwick Boseman had played in where he was King T'Challa,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, who was King T'Challa's security? It was the Dua Mujale,
all
was it
women,
not?
Yeah. It was
All
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 women,
women.
women.
all women.
Okay. Now keep in mind that the woman is the more deadly of the species is because of the protective instinct that is embedded in her by the creator to protect the offspring, okay?
True.
To protect the children and what have you. They say, and then what it happens is
Can you see
when
us?
you get these brain dead, confused ass scratchers
Awful,
who
man.
will sit up there and perpetuate that bullshit, they would go for anything.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I
yes.
mean, I got some sailboat fuel for sale.
Uh,
All right.
Yeah. I got sailboat fuel for sale that I'm charging $100 a pound of sailboat fuel, and then hit the Cash App, for Brother Che and for this platform right here. Okay,
Right.
we are selling sailboat fuel for $100 a pound.
Right.
Okay, and the reason why I'm saying that, I know it's redundant, I know it's ridiculous, and that's the same fucking way I feel when you gonna sit up there and tell me that a damn man can menstruate.
Yeah. That's
Get the
insanity.
fuck out of here. You're pissing on my head telling me it's rain. And I would debate with any of these ass scratchers, any of these yassa bosses who would sit up there and perpetuate that bullshit. And the number is right up there for you to call Tuesday night. And all you Biden supporters, once again, the number is 516 418 5996, and you can all come up to me with your hatred. Shabaka, you're a raveling idiot. Shabaka, you don't know what you're talking about. Shabaka, you're drunk. You are under the influence and all
I
that
wish
shit, and
I wish that
I'm
was the case.
stone fucking sober, and we will talk to you intellectually. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And we're
some people are
expanding
just
our
wild for real.
platforms. And then on top of that, oh, wait a minute. Who is that right there in that picture right there? Now that's a woman right there.
Peace, love,
That's
and
Sister
black
Bianca.
empowerment right
Yeah,
here.
Black Power.
I see.
Uh,
Oh, that's Sister Bianca.
I
Now,
really wanted to just piggyback on what everybody was saying,
Black
yes,
Power.
ma'am.
but we gotta really, yes, we in Guzu Saba, because you already know this
shit.
is
Moja.
Kwanzaa Eve.
Oh,
Hey, look, we in
indeed,
the fits. We in
indeed.
the fits. Very quick. We
Indeed.
in our traditional fits. We in our fits.
Yeah, I see plenty of
So this,
estrogen right there. That's a woman right there. That's a
Yeah,
woman
yeah,
that's a
sitting next to
powerful black
Brother
sister right
Cho.
there.
I see
Yeah.
estrogen right there.
That is
Yeah.
a powerful black sister right there.
Yes.
so
I
this
don't
is
see
what I
no
would like
fire.
to say.
Yes,
First
ma'am. I'm
and
shutting up.
foremost,
Yes, ma'am.
this is what I would really like to say.
Yes, ma'am.
Until we actually talk about how mutation has become so mainstream.
Mm.
Okay. Let's say it was about the 70s, 80s, and shit like that when cosmetic surgery really became mainstream.
Ah, glad you brought it up.
Okay.
Please continue,
Now
sister. I
listen,
got some comments on that.
it's still fucking mutation. It is mutation to your natural body.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So we got to look at
So serious.
if this is warfare, which we know it is.
Yes, ma'am.
We got to know that mutation is not just physical and this aspect anymore. And the reason why, and Chappelle was very spot on
Yes.
with why the trans movement has been pushed, is because Black people were holding white men more and more accountable.
Mm-hmm.
But white men also knew white women's rights.
Mm-hmm.
You know what,
And
sister? You got a
of
point.
course, okay. Now look, they've always sexualized and fetishized, fetish our as Black women,
Right.
our energy, our divine feminine energy. Their woman can tap into it, and they really, I swear, if you look at all the Diana Ross stands right about now,
Right.
70% of them are white men.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
understand? Okay, so this being said, we have always been the authoritative. Because guess what? They could never go against our men. But we were the educators. We were the ones, who was like, don't give me no lift in the house. So they saw we even had a certain level of authority that they never had.
Yep.
The white woman doesn't have any authority. The white man doesn't have any authority aside from money.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Right.
So this being said, when we actually started cornering some shit, that's when they was like what Chappelle said, nigger, you gotta treat me like a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said I'm a woman.
Yep.
But this is the funniest shit, because guess what? I can't even have like a biasness or anything, because I have gay members in my family.
Uh-huh.
But I'll tell you this much, even with them, they know for a fact they could never go through monthly fucking cramps.
Yeah.
Right.
They could never go through fucking childbirth.
Right.
Right.
Hey,
The pain
resurrection of the
itself,
mental
not
dead.
the
Speak,
mutation of
sister.
the body, but the pain itself. And see, a woman's cycle is so divine because it's tied to the moon.
Yep.
Yes.
Men are from the sun, women are from the moon.
Mm.
Watch that.
Okay, so this being said, there's a duality and there is a natural order in nature.
You're right.
If we get to disrupting, perverting, mutilating,
Yes, ma'am.
you can only expect for nature to fight back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's right.
And it's not just necessarily through us.
Exactly.
You actually see nature is fighting back.
Mm-hmm.
Ever
Oh,
since
yes, ma'am.
2014, certain shit's been legal. It's almost been like plague, biblical plagues being released.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes.
And so I'm really starting to look at it like this. We know that they put the truth in plain sight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We know that they can't cover all the fucking truth in the Bible. So I, in these times, have really started remembering a certain little part of the Bible. And it was like, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, basically, and pray, learn about yourself, and seek my face, and turn from the wicked ways, I will hear them. I will heal the lands, and it was something else. But you understand?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's such information like that because we have a reset coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're calling it the end of the world right now, but it's actually a rebirth.
Okay. And
We
then if
just
I may,
gotta be more in tune with the universe. We gotta, and this is really a challenge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if we can stop economically and genetically helping white people for a whole year,
Oh yeah.
do you know what the fuck would happen?
enlighten me.
It would be done.
Cleansing, purging, all that. Yeah. Cleansing.
It would literally be the beginning of rebuilding any kind of system here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it would be the destruction of the one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because we finally learned the rules of the game.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And look, Monopoly,
Mm-hmm.
perfect example. This game, when it was originally made, was supposed to be exposing.
Mm.
Milton and Bradley got a hold of it. Of course, they were filters. They were agents. They had to, desensitize the masses.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So they made it an entertaining game.
Mm-hmm.
But
Called
I'm going to ask you
Monopoly.
this. I'm going to ask you this. How many people that you know actually finished that whole fucking game?
Shit, we was playing at my dad's house. Damn,
Huh?
it felt like
Huh?
never.
No, I
ended.
mean the whole fucking
Never.
game.
I knew it felt like you just never
You
ended.
never got
You
it.
don't. Exactly.
Never
So
ended.
it shows that in that game, the richer
Got richer.
Yeah.
or the person who gets rich the quickest literally has more opportunities to be rich than anybody else on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
People on the board get tired of it.
And quit.
Now, I've seen people flip boards. I've seen people
Yep.
just walk away. I've seen people start drinking and start a conversation. And that
Yep.
there's a game.
Yep.
But I've never really seen that game completed.
Yeah.
I
Like,
think
what
in my
So,
lifetime,
That
I've
being
only-
said,
Fine. Okay.
now no, look, the way that people get tired of playing that game, society is eventually gonna get tired of playing this game.
Right.
Word.
Now, when we stand up, because it's being built off of our backs.
Yeah, yeah.
Literally, we're the tables holding the goddamn board up right now.
right? And all we got to do
So
is
if we
stand
stand
up
the
and it's
fuck up,
game over.
That thing you got on
And
your
knock that board over,
It's
y'all ain't
game
got no
over.
choice but to start over.
Game over. Yeah.
Mhm.
Indeed.
That's fact.
Sound,
That's beautiful.
profound reasoning, ma'am, and I commend you
Yes.
on that. Now, with me being an old bastard, another game that me and Mad Dr. D used to play all the time was the game called Risk.
Mhm.
Okay, RISK, and basically it is a game of conquering the world. Okay,
Truth.
what we have to do, Black family, of what I see it, and I'm hoping I'm accurate in my information, you know, before my transition for the next generations. You got to fortify what we're doing.
Right.
You know, just like when Ali used to do his thing in the ring. He would triple jab, right cross, left hook, right uppercut, left hook, overhand right. That was his sting like a bee combination.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
you want to know why Ali was able to be the greatest that he was?
Why is that?
It's because there was no fear.
Yeah.
Oh,
Literally,
indeed.
it was all strategy and concentration.
Yeah,
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Very,
You
But
know,
however,
so what we need to literally in this society is get over is fear.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Oh,
we are
absolutely.
living the worst right now. Do you understand?
You're right.
We are living in hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we're already in hell, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What else? I mean, we could always think of worse shit that can happen on earth, but if you have no fear, literally, that shit ain't about to happen.
Right.
Right.
You're right. And funny
So,
you should say that.
That being said, we have to lose. Nina Simone said it best.
Yes.
That was her true definition of freedom.
Yep.
No fear.
No fear. I'm sorry to
So,
cut this short.
When we want
your thought,
ourselves
Bianca.
to be great as a people, we have to even hold on to these Kwanzaa principles throughout the whole year.
Yeah.
Yes.
And be fearless about that shit.
Yes.
And stand on that shit.
Right.
And say shit with our chest.
Right.
And mean it.
Stand on it, yeah.
Stand on the principles, right.
Hey,
oh, yes. You got to stand on a square. And then keep in mind, as Dr. Newton stated in his memoirs, and recently, Brother Chairs, you know, the last time I was in Panthertown, they did have a statue to Huey P. Newton, and there's a plaque below it that I read, and y'all might have seen my live feed on it. Now, this year, I've traveled through Florida, I've traveled through Georgia, I've traveled through all kind of states up there, as you're very, very well aware of, Brother Che, and I never forget, I did a live feed from a place called the Little Bighorn.
Yeah.
And this is where white America had sent out this savage by the name of Custer, who was going out there to dominate a people. And I believe the chief of the people he was trying to dominate was Tatanka, who they commonly referred to as Sitting Bull. Okay. So when Custer got wiped out, the U.S. government, you know, through its military machine, had went out there to go do into Tatanka. But Tatanka probably knew that what he was doing was, being the chief, he had to set the example in leadership by example. And as Dr. Newton had said in his memoirs, Tatanka probably realized that he was doomed. But guess what, motherfucker? You're not coming into my house, kicking in my door, coming in here with your nasty disease-infested asses, talking about you taking over. Motherfucker, you ain't running shit here.
Right.
Right.
Hey, and then what happened with Tatanka? It took them, let me see, he died in 1890. Little Bighorn had went down in June of 1876. So for 14 years, the cave dwellers were hell-bent on trying to kill Tatanka, which they eventually did, because they deceived him, saying that, well, we're taking you to this place, you know, to sit here and to talk peace, you know, with yellow hair, which was Custard, or white folks in general. And they went on and they killed him. You see what I mean? To set the example. In the state of California, the Modoc, there was a film about that, The Last Survivor, I believe.
Even British royalty.
Okay, see, so now they fucking up with our algorithms again.
The same black people that they just idolized. You know what they did with them once they were dead? And this is so crazy because of an organ donor just told me why she didn't register as an organ donor again.
Yeah.
Okay. She had told me that her grandma had passed away recently from COVID.
Mm.
And
Oh,
I offered my condolences, right?
Mhm.
She was like, I had to take myself off of donor list. And I was like, well, I had been telling her about it.
Yeah,
So I was like, what's up? You know, what made you think about it? They use, and they are using those organ donation. Guess what the biggest organ is?
The
The
heart.
heart.
What?
No, your
Right.
skin.
Oh, your skin.
Oh, shit.
They're
What?
taking your skin.
For what?
Yes, they are skinning our people. Now, mind you, like I said, it goes all the way back to what I was talking about in Britain with our royalty. It was almost a sign of respect that they would skin them.
Oh, yeah.
Then you see what I'm saying, and stuff their bodies, and it was a mummification process that they didn't understand.
Yeah, I remember
They didn't
reading
really know
something about
what to
that.
do, so they tried and did their own interpretation of it.
Yeah,
But,
I think they talked about that in
now-
the Delectable Negro.
Now it's not just for skin grafting that they're taking and
They need live skin to graft.
harvesting the skin.
They need live skin to graft. I got
It is
7 grafts.
for melanin.
Oh,
Melanin.
Right.
Do you know
Yeah.
how much? Do you know how much
Yeah.
melanin is on the black market right
oh
now?
my God.
It was.
$350 a gram.
Okay, synthetic, not even the real shit,
What?
is worth more than gold.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, she's right.
Yeah, she is.
I don't even
It
know.
is
what
worth
it is.
more than
being
gold.
said-
Sounds so crazy to me.
So this being said, is it really too far fetched
No.
No.
I'm really
to
not.
we were talking about agendas earlier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not about like people uniting and seeing past differences. That all of this interracial marriage is starting to happen right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of a strategy.
Mm.
Okay. And they know, like I had said before, the last time I was on here,
Mm-hmm.
they know the woman's role in a marriage. So in a proper, well, I'm not going to say a proper marriage, a proper alignment where everybody is serving their role in the household.
Mm-hmm.
The woman, the man goes and he provides and he protects.
Mm-hmm.
She comes, or he comes home. He gives his wife the paycheck to balance the bills and this and that. You know what I'm saying? She's the accountant of the home. He earns the money, but she makes sure that everything is distributed
Functioning correctly.
the way that it's supposed to
Mhm.
to keep financial situations afloat.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
White women have always tried to make themselves seem like the vulnerable or the damsel in distress. But like I said before, 1/3 of them during slavery times
Was
were
it right?
slave owners.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay,
we
well,
gotta
who is the
remember
slave
that.
owners there, Sister Bianca?
White women.
Because they're messing with sister. Okay, the white women were the slave owners, correct?
Okay, so this
Yeah.
is
Is
where
that
you
what you're getting
find
at?
the cultural appropriation to the point where you have everybody. Okay, it's funny because like social media itself,
Uh-huh.
they thrive off of things that Black women do.
Mhm.
But then they'll turn around and enough TikToks are done by other races, and it becomes, some other shit.
Yeah.
And this person done went viral over appropriating a Black person.
Mm-hmm.
So we look more at this metaverse shit,
Mhm.
okay? Because I'm going all the way to fuck in tonight, okay?
Yeah.
If we're going down the rabbit hole, shit, I'm holding on to the rabbit's tail. I'm serious. I'm holding on to the rabbit's tail. I ain't letting go neither.
Right.
So, this being said, well, you and a couple other people saw a link that I shared earlier today on my page, where you saw like the artificial intelligence.
Right.
Okay, so there's a movie that's about to be coming out. Guess what? Guess who's starring in it? A
Who's
black
that?
man. A
What's his
black man.
name?
And well, I can't remember the actor exactly, but a black man is starring in a movie where he is dying of an illness.
Yeah,
and he is literally gonna have his clone step. Oh, yeah, you saw the trailer that I shared.
I saw the movie. I tried to share it with. I tried to let him watch it, but he blew it off. I saw it. It's called it's called Song Cry or something like that. It is fucking great. excellent fucking movie. You will cry from start to finish. That movie is beautiful.
And now listen, it's emotionally geared, so you understand why the man is doing what he's doing.
Yep. It's very good.
It's not focusing on what the actual because anything that Hollywood puts out to us, they're either doing or plan on doing.
Exactly.
Okay?
You're right.
And
she's absolutely
they
correct.
put it out there to see how we're going to react to it in the first place. And then they use that to desensitize us from it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you're right, ma'am. You're absolutely correct.
Exactly, because get this. In other countries, when we were seeing Dawn of the Dead out here a few years back in the movie theaters, there was actually a motherfucking zombie outbreak in Asia. Of course, they try to keep it under wraps and this and that. But they've already made a show about it too. So this is why I know it really fucking happened.
Yeah.
And they do drill tests on what they call small remote areas. Just like in America, they used to test water and test all kind of shit in little and then we wonder why hillbillies are the way that they are. They drank some of the dirtiest fucking water.
Right.
But that being said, we really, like I said, we gotta up our game as far as this warfare.
Yes.
We gotta be very aware that they're gonna be trying to usher in so much shit. And see, once they saw that we tolerate, okay, this is how they really ushered in this LGBTQ movement, all of that shit.
Yeah.
You want to know how? In the black community, Shanae, Wanda, all of that shit. Okay,
Touchdown, the Martin Lawrence show.
Form. Yes, they did that shit in motherfucking
in the
comedy
90s.
Form, okay,
yes, ma'am, in the 1990s.
To us. So then, guess what? We had an expectation of gay black men that they are just lively and sprightly and this and that,
Damn it, dude.
It was comedy for us. So that's what made us accept them. Okay.
That makes so much sense
now with the trans movement, because we accepted that, they are force feeding us with that shit.
Yeah.
Once you open your mouth for a spoonful and they see they got your mouth open, they're shoving everything else in.
Yep.
Damn.
You want to know something, ma'am? You are absolutely correct.
We gotta start saying no. Look, when I posted on Facebook, I was saying no in the month of November. This is a New Year's resolution for me. I am saying the word no so fucking much. No.
Yep.
No.
I don't have to. I don't have to like some shit. And that's that fearlessness that we need to step into.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why I don't feel wrong.
Don't be afraid to say no.
That's why I don't feel wrong for saying what I said. I stand on what I said.
And say it with your chest. And say it with your chest, Brandy. And say it with your chest. Fuck it.
I stood on it. Because I know what I feel. That's my divine essence right there.
I know my divine femininity and can nobody copy. Look, y'all done copied everything else, okay? If you look at British wigs, okay, for their judges, what do you see in them? Curls.
Yep.
Curls upon curls upon curls. Their manes Okay, because their hair isn't hair, it's
Right.
mane. Their manes remain straight, so they were obviously emulating
Yeah.
this type of shit. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That being
Oh,
said,
yes, indeed.
the originals will always be emulated in some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're at the hour mark. I got to keep us moving on. We had several things we need to discuss tonight. So,
Yes, sir.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Hey,
You know, I
hey,
just
wait,
had
wait,
to step in, say
Yeah.
my little piece.
Hold on before
Like
you
I
dip.
said,
Before you dip, I got to tell
I'm
you
gonna
something.
let you know. I'm gonna let you know Habari Ghani. Shit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let
hey.
you know what's the
Emoji.
news.
And let me just say this real quick, Bianca. Real quick before you go, this is a shout out to you. Thank you, Bianca. You know, I thank you so much. For you know, I don't know if you can see us, but we got the fits on. So shout out family. We said hi. We
Yeah.
in our traditional shit. We
Yes.
rocking it hard.
Asante Sana,
hard.
sister. You know you guys still got Kwanzaa gifts over
Yeah,
here
yeah,
at
yeah.
the house, yeah?
Yeah. Real quick before you go, I want to tell you thank you because you know sometimes you know they take away from the message. They let the shade deflect from the message, and I thank you for coming on and impacting the message because then you know it's taken more. It's taken like serious because we're more richly melanated. And I just want to tell you, thank you
What
for
they
that,
better
sister.
realize
Thank you, Princess
is
Sister,
there were
'cause-
so many
Thank you.
queens, so many warrior princesses, okay, that were red bone. Our
Yes.
tribes literally were broken down, and that was a tribe name, red bone.
Yeah.
So people can get off that complexion shit.
Yeah, that
I just want to
Okay.
tell you, thank you.
Two
because it
black
helps.
people darker
It
than
helps.
me can create somebody lighter than you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So
And
everybody
vice
better get
versa.
off of that shit. It's all about knowing who the fuck you are.
Right.
Okay.
Very much
Yeah,
so.
you're right.
You know, I tell
There's
you,
no argument with
why I'm
undisputed
that's all I
truth.
for the show.
There's no
Thank you.
argument.
Thank you, Bianca.
Peace, love, and black
Black
empowerment,
power.
y'all.
All right, sister. Thank you for joining us. And once
Always a
again,
joy.
folks, we are still waiting on you Biden supporters to call us on Tuesday night. And once again, the phone number is 516 418 5996. And we're still yet to hear from you. We understand you've been bullshitted and hoodwinked and bamboozled and got your head bumps, but we're not mad at you. If any damn thing, we'll feel sorry for you.
Very much.
And then as I'm feeling the power of the ancestors here of where I'm currently at,
Yes.
you see what I mean? And then why they call it hurricanes, okay? Because that is the spirit of the black woman exercising her wrath upon the brutalization of what our people went through in these parts of where I'm currently at. Now, this is not hatred.
No.
This is not bigotry. But as Sister Bianca said, is that the Martin Lawrence show that came on in the 90s along with Living Single, A Different World, The Cosby Show, those shows was, yeah, and In Living Color, and those shows were taken off of the air. And then, as I stated before on the Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, and also too here on Frontline Black News, is that when they had the show A Different World, do you know of how high the college enrollments had went up for
HBCUs?
Yeah, for the HBCUs and what have you. And before I leave the South, I would like to perhaps visit one of the campuses if that's possible, because currently my schedule is sporadic. It does change from day to day, could change from hour to hour. Okay, but however, you know, it is what it is. But however, we are definitely keeping our platforms up as well too, and definitely it's very, very important that we have independent black media. Now, also too, Brother Che, not getting off topic, one thing that I want to bring up right here. I made a post earlier today. I will probably get suspended from Facebook again. Okay. All righty. And like I said, I welcome the suspension is because we speak against the popular version of what is truth. Now, let's look at this here, black family. If you take every black player out of the National Football League and every black player out of the National Basketball Association, particularly at playoff times where they will come out there in unison across all the teams, guess what? We're not playing today. Guess what? We formed our own league. And I will bet you is that the mainstream fans of these sporting events will spend their money quicker with the black superstar athletes in their own leagues than they would do the National Football League and the National Basketball Association. And both those entities could be broke within within 2 seasons. Here's how it would happen. One, the fans, regardless of their ethnicity, will go see their top favorite athletes, more than likely, who would be black. Two, the pro basketball, the owners of these teams will be consuming their savings to pay their bills, to pay back all those sponsors, to pay off all the lawsuits when they get hit with breach of contract. Three, it would also give the black pair players a more powerful form of unity and truly showing the black power that is truly there. Just like what John Carlos and Tommy Smith said. Yeah, they were stripped of their gold medals at the 1968 Olympics. And I believe one of those brothers had stated that if he had to do it all over again, he would do the same goddamn thing. Okay? It's because that raised the awareness level. Now, let's look at the sacrifices of our people. Sister Harriet Tubman coming down here with the Underground Railroad. And she would tell these brain dead Negroes, look, man, you either gonna be free or you're gonna be dead. You got like about 3 seconds to make your fucking mind up.
Right.
Say,
Shabaka.
Yes, sir.
I gotta continue the show.
Indeed.
So we have several topics that we need to get to tonight.
Okay.
We already touched on Tangibles 2021. The next topic was Black News Channel is failing and having to lay off people. So
I'm not caught up on this one.
For those that don't know, New Black Media is taking over. So the white power structure caught themselves trying to manufacture a news media channel called Black News Channel. They thought that because they named it Black News Channel that it was going to prosper in the black community. Nope, it's failing, and they had to lay off several people. This article I'm about to pull up has information about it. So, Black News Channel isn't black owned. It's owned by some Persian cat. In this article I'm about to read, it says Black News Channel announces layoffs right before Christmas.
Okay.
Tallahassee-based Black News Channel announced it is laying off an unspecified number of its 300 employees. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported. The report says Black News Channel CEO Fennell. How do you say that? Fennell. Princell Hair broke the news Friday to employees. It was not immediately clear how many staffers will be impacted, the Wrap reported. The news, the startup cable channel made its debut in November of 2019, and it is available in 50 million households. So,
this is cable, I bet.
It's on cable and it's on YouTube, and they have to lay off employees because they can't stay afloat because they don't have the post of the black people. They don't have the post of the black masses. The black masses are flocking to New Black Media, flocking to us, flocking to Tariq, flocking to Professor Black Truth, the Black Authority, and Vicky Dillard, Fly Nubian Queen, and the list goes on and on. So,
the real ones.
The real ones, yeah. So they tried their best and they failed.
Hmm.
Nobody's tuning into that nonsense. Nobody
That's
black.
great news.
So we're toting this as a victory.
Oh,
Hmm.
indeed, Brother Chain. This is the same principle that I would talk about that could happen in the NBA and the NFL as well, too. That
Hmm.
same principle right there, sir.
Yeah, this is what we talked about the other day on your program as well, Brother Shabaka. We just
Okay.
we saw the other day on your program with the new black media,
Yes, ma'am.
making their rise of truth telling, which is very revolutionary, and they're
Well,
making
ma'am,
a
that
rise
is revolutionary.
exactly.
Okay, and of course, what is a revolution? A complete and abrupt change. And based on what Brother Che stated right there, falls into the parameters of revolution.
Yes,
Yep.
very much so.
Very
So
much so.
they're
Let's keep
selling.
fanning the flame on that.
Hmm.
Yes.
Let's build
Yes.
and do for self.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, we like
And
to
then
spread our
and
spread the
then the
message
Yasa
loud and far
bosses
away.
and the ass scratchers, you catch it through.
Yep.
Yeah,
Your Amos and Andy show
And
is
you
over.
must. So
submit.
we watched the episode they had on there, and they had some. Remember that episode that we watched? They had that transgender
Oh yeah,
black person on there
yeah, that
talking
was it.
about uh
Oh,
hi,
hi,
I'm
I'm
black
black. Yeah, after the fact, right?
after the fact,
Uh
and
huh.
it had Teray and somebody else on there. Oh,
Marco Ma.
Lamoy Seal,
Hmm.
and they were talking about the transgender community, and
During the Dave Chappelle, you know,
yeah, they were mad
drama.
about what Dave Chappelle said,
Yeah.
and this
Okay.
is kind of garbage that was airing on this news
Yep.
channel.
That we talked
Okay.
about that you can have both ways. If you get shot in the street, they're not gonna know that you're pretending to be a woman. They're
Right?
gonna
They
see
just
that
see
you're
you're
black,
black. They're gonna see
Precisely.
black first.
and they seem to forget that they're black first. Everything is put ahead of being black first. That means there's a gender identity or whatever, personality complex, whatever you gotta say, is ahead of your actual black skin. The actual skin color first is which is actually getting killed or maimed or beaten or shamed or everything is before being
Yeah.
black, and that was crazy to me.
Yeah, so this channel's only been around for 2 years. The new black media has been around for 15 years. So
Okay.
new black media is winning. The white power structure doesn't know what to do.
Okay.
They don't know how to keep their ratings up with us because we're not tuning into their nonsense.
Hmm.
Okay, great, beautiful. Same principle, just like the Montgomery bus boycott. Hit them where it hurts in the pocketbook. Let it be known we ain't going for that bullshit no more.
Yep.
Changes are coming.
Yeah, straight out.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going for that bullshit no more. You're not going to sit up there and piss on my head and tell me it's rain. You're not
Right.
going to sit up there and shit on us and tell us it's snow. See? And all the hate mail that I get, please keep those cards and letters coming. And as I always say, to the president of the Motion Picture Academy of Arts and Sciences,
Public service, no.
okay, to the heads of MGM, Warner Brothers, Universal Music Group, the Screen Actors Guild and the Screen Directors Guild and the Screenwriters Guild, and to the mayor of the city of Los Angeles. We just have two words to say to you for disrespecting us. Fuck you.
Hey, brother Shabaka, real quick. I just gotta tell you that last Saturday I was very sick and I had to do the broadcast over there. And
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. I've always said that is my favorite part about the Shabaka's Black experience. Okay, is that
Oh, yes, ma'am.
the public service that does it. And you weren't on the show, right? And everybody was
Yes.
like, man, Romel was like, I wish Shabaka was there. I like I can do it. I'm gonna do it for over here, the Brandy version of homelessness and whatnot. And I just did the same thing. I bit your style, sir. And I
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's because the sad part about it is that, one of our brother Aleem had did a post on Oscar Mashore who was one of the early filmmakers of Hollywood, and a lot of black talent was stolen from us in early Hollywood. Oscar Mashore, Paul Robeson, and then there was another brother right there. I can't recall him right quick, but we'll research it and we'll talk about it once we get back to Los Angeles. And then I'm going to check out the American Film Institute just to document how many of the black filmmakers were there, because if I'm not mistaken, if I got it right, the American Film Institute, is pretty much archives all the motion pictures that was made from day zero.
Yep.
They say, and it's a code number on it. And then also, too, is that you got to understand the fact. Now, you could be an independent filmmaker, but the sad part about it is that you have to go to Universal, you have to go to 20th Century Fox and Paramount to have it distributed worldwide. But not to take us off track, Brother Che, please continue, with our next agenda.
Yeah,
thank you, Sister Bianca, for chiming in.
Yes, thank you, Bianca. I'm trying to let you in, but it's saying device is not connected.
That's that bullshit.
Amen. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, that is that bullshit right there. And then also, too, if I may blend in and keep it moving, Brother Che, hopefully we're not... Yes, sir.
The next topic is Kim Potter found guilty of second, third degree.
Oh, yes, yes.
After Daunte Wright in Minnesota.
Yes, sir.
So the lady that mistaken her taser for her gun,
yes,
lied and said that she mistaken her taser for her gun, is now been convicted of second and third degree manslaughter. And if you ask me, she should have been convicted of second, if not first degree murder.
Right.
Killed that brother.
Oh,
Lord, Josie's in the house.
Oh, yes, sir, without a doubt. Yeah. And I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts, okay? You know what I'm saying? Is that this chick ain't gonna do no more than 5 years at the most. And then, of course, she will be PC'd. And I say, let that motherfucker walk the concrete in there like all of us do. Everybody's life is at risk in jail.
Yep.
So let her walk the fucking concrete. She knew what the fuck she was doing. And that sounds like that same prepackaged bullshit that Cop Mala didn't check when Johannes Mercilessly murdered Oscar Grant in Oakland, California on the Fruitvale platform of the Fruitvale BART station.
Yep, that's exactly what it sounds like.
That's exactly what the fuck it is. And how in the hell that you gonna tell me, mistakenly, and you've been on a pig department 26 motherfucking years and probably trained some of these murdering bastards to yourself.
Somebody in the process.
Yeah, she just trained them to kill another.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Over a damn little
over expired license plate,
expired license plate,
wrong tags,
and the thing in the mirror, right?
Expired tags and the air freshener.
Yeah. Prepackaged bullshit. You see what I'm saying?
So this is
okay.
Her. And this article I'm gonna read is from NPR, National Public Radio.
Okay.
It says Kim Potter, the former Minnesota police officer who mistakenly drew her handgun instead of her taser during a traffic stop in April, in which she federally shot Daunte Wright, has been found guilty. Jurors have been deliberating since Monday before finding Potter, who has served as an officer in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota for 26 years, guilty of first and second degree manslaughter charges in the death of Wright.
Okay.
Potter winced when the verdict was read, but otherwise appeared not to react. A short while later, she was handcuffed and taken into custody pending sentencing. Katie Bryant, Wright's mother, said after the trial that she felt every single emotion that you could imagine as the verdict was read. Mm-hmm. I kind of let out a yelp, but it was built up in anticipation of what was to come, she said. Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, whose office prosecuted the case, said they have achieved accountability for Wright's death. Accountability is not justice. Justice is restoration. Justice would be restoring Daunte to life and making the Wright family whole again, he added.
Right.
The verdict follows a closely watched 2 week trial capped by Potter's turn on the witness stand, where she sobbed while recalling the shooting when she was so sorry for what happened. That's when she was giving those crocodile tears. She was taking a playbook straight out of Kyle Rittenhouse, trying to cry
Right.
on the stand, thinking that's going to give her less time. Whether Potter had intended to draw her taser or handgun was not an issue in the trial. Lawyers for both sides agreed she mistakenly drew the wrong weapon.
Right.
Instead, the trial centered on questions of whether she should have recognized she was holding a heavier metal gun or whether she had drawn any weapon at all.
Right.
Potter is scheduled to be sentenced on February 18th of
Yep.
2022. The
Okay.
state's sentencing guidelines recommend a sentence of roughly 7 years for the first
Yeah.
degree charge and 4 years for the second degree charge, though prosecutors indicated they would seek a longer sentence. So she's
Right.
facing at minimum 11 years in prison
Right.
on both
Okay.
charges.
Okay. All right, but even still, that there is not long enough. Is because
No.
she knew what the hell she was doing,
Right.
straight out. And they're not gonna sit up there and piss on my head and tell me it's rain.
Right.
It's straight out prepackaged bullshit is what it is. You see what I mean? And then the cold part about it is, Brother Che, I was just looking at some of the comments, that our viewers are leaving. And
Yeah.
I appreciate this comment right here. All of Hollywood, fuck you. It's because that is some weird shit right there.
Right.
That goes on out there, and in the whole damn city of Los Angeles as well too. And then the sad part about it is I appreciate the actors and actresses that work so damn hard, like pro athletes, to get these jobs out here. But why do you want to degrade us as a people? Like when they had, damn near 100 years ago with the Jigaboo movies, Amos and Andy, Rochester, Balls, and all that old type of bullshit. We have the resources, Black family, to do it. Let's look at the example that was set by Dr. King with the Montgomery bus boycott, along with SCLC, Rosa Parks, Ralph Abernathy, what have you. Let's look at the example that was set by the Black Panther Party when Dr. Newton informed his crew that, hey, that the police are in the Black community, they're there to brutalize us, they're there to contain us, and they're there to kill us, and they're there to control us. Say, and of course, as we all know, is that they all evolved from the slave patrollers who went after that black gold called the slave. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like how they used to do the black babies on the plantation system, like how they'll talk about, oh, it's horrible what they're doing to the children there, up there, at the border, detaining them away from their parents. But yet, though, this motherfuckers are not addressing the issue of all the black babies that were snatched out of their mother's arms on an auction block.
Right.
Say, so I can understand them there to a point, but you got to address that fucking issue as well, too. Just like other assholes, as you're very well aware of, Brother Che, who came in there on our platform, Brother Che, as we ain't got to mention no names, man.
Yeah.
Oh, well, your black people sold yourselves into slavery. No, that was bullshit of divide and conquer. It's because when they got us down there to, let me see, Ghana, the point of no return. Okay, like we got, 6 old raggedy, decrepit ass niggas like Shabaka here, half his teeth is gone. Well, we might get, say, about $2 or $3 off this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And then let's see here. Then we got the, the young men right there. Okay, so let me see. We got space here, let's say, roughly say for about 300 seats. Well, guess what? We got 6 seats vacant after all. Go get that bastard that did the selling and throw his ass down in there.
Right.
So that blows that lie right straight out of the fucking water. And I would debate with any ass scratcher. I would debate with any caucasoid. I would debate with any son of a bitch who is stupid enough to believe that stupid shit. And the number to call in is 516-418-5996. Press 1 to speak live on the air on Tuesday. You see what I'm saying? When we are dealing, with our other subject. And we definitely appreciate our supporters. We definitely appreciate those that listen to our podcast and all of our platforms combined. We definitely appreciate Frontline Black News, and definitely check out the webpage, frontlinecampaign.org. And if I may say, Brother Che, and I'm going to check with the anchor man for his approval. And yes, and we can market some of your merchandise up there for a fee, of course. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course.
We all got to eat, and then also too we all number two, and then also too we need to start building up some war chests to protect our black women, to protect our black babies,
Yes.
to open in investigations to these fraudulent ass adoption agencies that are taking black children off of our continent and exploiting and hurting them. Because as I was doing my travels, Brother Che, up there in Montana, Utah, and what have you that you're familiar with, I saw a lot of black children with white parents, and that kind of concerned me a little bit.
It does. It is concerning. I feel like
that concerned.
I feel like, oh my God, like these poor children are going to be raised by the devil.
Right. And are these children being violated? Are these children being exploited?
Right.
You see what I mean?
God. That made me throw up in my mouth. I almost wanted to cry right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then on top of it, when we get brain dead Negroes who come up there, well, I don't see color and this, that. No, you could best believe color sees our black asses.
Right.
And that's for real.
If you think about it, in the last few generations, at least in my time zone of 41 years, we have been conditioned to look at people, even within ourselves, and immediately jump to some sort of conclusion.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm reading.
Very irate.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm reading a comment right here. Nigga killing licenses are still around. That's why the anti-lynching law still ain't been passed in the U.S. Congress. You see, and then moving on to California, because I'm getting ready to have to shut it down, Brother Che. Gavin Newsom.
That's the next topic.
Oh, right on.
Perfect timing.
Yes, sir.
Right, so the
okay.
Next topic is California Governor Gavin Newsom passed new law on online delivery drivers.
Yes, sir. Gruesome Newsom, has signed into law, and it's pretty much setting it up that those who are driving for Uber and Lyft cannot keep their tips. Same shit with Amazon. That when they deliver, they got to turn the tips into Jeff Bezos and shit like that. So you sitting out there grinding.
I don't know, because this article I pulled up, it says California will soon give tip protections to drivers, to delivery workers,
well, that's good.
And require more transparency from DoorDash and other food delivery apps under a bill signed into law by Governor Gavin Newsom on Tuesday night.
Then I stand corrected. Then I stand corrected. I recognize also, too, now another law that they signed in California was to have police officers who are committing misconduct, who are with other officers, the officers are to intervene. Somewhere in the case what happened, with George Floyd there, when he was being murdered by Chauvin, and the other three officers are standing around. Now, I'm of the personal opinion where the biggest opposition of where that is going to come from is going to be the Los Angeles Police Department. Why do you think Christopher Dorner did what he did? And Kamala Harris, I wonder what she has to say about that.
Right. So I'm gonna play the article real quick. So
Yes, sir.
it the technology's coming such a long way. Now you don't even have to read no more; it'll play it for you.
Oh, okay.
DoorDash,
Fair
Uber
use.
Eats,
This is
Grubhub must
for
disclose hidden fees, give delivery workers all tips under new California law. By Levi Sumagazi. October 7, 2021, 12:39 p.m. Eastern Time. California will soon give tip protections to delivery workers and require more transparency from DoorDash Incorporated and other food delivery apps under a bill signed into law by Governor Gavin Newsom Tuesday night. AB 286 requires delivery apps like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub to give delivery workers all their tips. The bill also prohibits food delivery apps from charging customers more than restaurants do. And it addresses hidden fees by requiring the companies to disclose to restaurants and customers a detailed cost breakdown of each transaction. Feed companies have profited during the pandemic by keeping consumers and restaurants in the dark about the true cost of their services, said State Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez de San Diego, who wrote the bill in a statement. Now small restaurants and their customers will know what they're being charged upfront and get to see exactly how much is actually benefiting the restaurant. The bill, which will take effect January 1st, 2022, is the latest of many efforts to regulate the burgeoning app-based food delivery industry. At the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic last year, municipalities adopted emergency delivery fee caps. This year, San Francisco and New York City enacted permanent fee caps, sparking lawsuits from DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub. And New York City last month passed first in the nation legislation that would establish minimum pay for delivery workers, give them access to restaurant bathrooms, and more. See DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats battle increasing regulations. DoorDash, which has faced questions about how much its drivers keep in tips and last year settled a lawsuit by Washington, D.C., accusing it of applying tips to workers' base pay, says on its website that its delivery workers keep all their tips. Uber Eats and Grubhub also say tips go straight to the drivers. DoorDash, which originally said it had no comment on the signing of AB 286, later said it already provides transparency throughout its platform to customers, merchants, and delivery workers. The company also said Dashers always receive 100% of their tips and see the full breakdown of all of their deliveries in the app. Grubhub and Uber did not return requests for comment. Meanwhile, Newsom vetoed another bill, AB 1444, which would have dictated that agreements between restaurants and food delivery platforms be written and include certain content. It also would have restricted delivery platforms from charging restaurants for forwarded calls unless those calls resulted in an order, and required listing websites to disclose whether ordering through them would result in forwarding a call and a fee paid to a third party other than the restaurant. In his veto message, Newsom said we have significantly increased oversight of food delivery companies in recent years. The governor also mentioned that the delivery platforms have said they no longer charge restaurants simply for forwarding calls. This story has been updated with comments from DoorDash.
so there you have it.
Okay. All right, I stand corrected on that, brother Che, and I appreciate you on that. And then also too, I believe that they also got it where you could have your drinks ordered to go to, and I think they got something with your booze at the bar that you can make your drinks ordered to go as well.
That's crazy. I didn't know you just.
Well, that's California politics. It is whack. It is insane. It is contradictory. Now, keep in mind, is that Newsom is up for re-election next year in 2022. So therefore, that's why I don't understand Larry Elder and them trying to do that damn recall. And Larry Elder, you're an ass scratcher. You're a coon. You're a yassa boss. And let me tell you something, Larry Elder, that I know about your sorry ass. You claim, Elder, that you are from South Central Los Angeles. You grew up in the Crenshaw district. The Crenshaw district is southwest Los Angeles. So I'm just letting the people know in regard to that. Okay?
Okay, Shabaka, thank you.
Yes, sir.
We got time for one more topic before you got to go.
Yes, sir.
And that is the COVID pill has arrived.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Dun, 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 dun.
It's so wrong. It's so whack.
Bang.
I'm like,
Okay.
I
Now,
get
what is this COVID pill supposed to do?
who knows?
Got another troll. Hold on.
What the troll is saying?
Something in Russian.
It's a bot.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we get
So,
them.
so we being heard over there in Russia, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, the bots.
How about that?
Russian bots.
The bots and trolls are active
It's
tonight.
really like some sort of algorithm code or some crap.
Oh, okay.
You know, hacked or some shit. It's probably something like that. I just
Okay.
block.
Okay, all righty. Okay, so therefore, once again, since we are speaking against the popular version of what is truth, okay, so now they coming at us with prepackaged bullshit with this technology. All that simply means, folks, that we are getting somewhere.
Yep. So I'm gonna have to read this. Fair use, people. Fair use, YouTube. You know,
I'm gonna read it
for educational
What
purposes.
is play it?
Yeah,
Holidays are in full swing, and you can feel the
Fair
magic
use
in the
for
air.
education and
Let's go to Diane.
commentary.
Who knows what's happening? Yeah, I got the awesome new iPhone
This
13
is
Pro and
stupid ass.
AirPods and T-Mobile's
It'll
paying for
play
both.
after this ad.
No, man.
Look at the phone,
YouTube and its bullshit.
Only at T-Mobile.
And this is for new and existing T-Mobile and Sprint customers.
Man, hit the skip button on that advertisement, man. I can't stand that shit.
I can't.
Yeah, we can't.
That newly
Oh,
authorized
okay.
pill
So
is
once
called
again,
Paxlovid. Data from
There's
clinical
Gail.
trials shows that it can reduce hospitalizations and death by 89% for high-risk unvaccinated patients if taken within 3 days from when the symptoms begin. CBS News chief medical correspondent Dr. John LaPook joins us to sort it all out for us. Dr. LaPook, it's good to see you. Let's talk about that pill right away. It says 3 days within symptoms. Do you have to officially be diagnosed, or do you just have to think, well, I'm feeling something? Because I know a lot of us think we're feeling something these days.
Yeah, I think it's, a combination of the two. And it's actually within eventually 5 days, because even when you take it within 5 days of symptoms, you decrease the risk of hospitalization and death by 88%. This is a protease inhibitor, and it works differently than the vaccines. It's working on the virus's ability to replicate, and it shouldn't really, theoretically at least, be affected by all these mutations that are going on, at least not dramatically. So it's a very exciting development, very promising.
How soon do you think it'll be available?
Well, there was an announcement by the government yesterday that said that the first 65,000 courses for 65,000 people would be available about the beginning of January. So that's not very many. And then hopefully as the year goes by, it's going to be rolled out in the tens of millions. It does take a long time, many months, to make a pill. And they started this many months ago with the idea, well, if it is successful, let's make sure that we have some in the pipeline.
Should vaccinated people take it too?
Well, remember, it's only if you have COVID. So people shouldn't think, okay, I've got Paxlovid coming down the pipeline, and so I don't have to worry about getting vaccinated. If there's one message that we know for sure, that you should get vaccinated, and if you're vaccinated, you should get boosted when you're eligible, because that dramatically decreases the risk of hospipitalization and death. In fact, the CDC just announced that people who are unvaccinated have 20 times the risk of dying as people who have the full vaccination.
Yeah, I'll never understand why people would want to wait for a pill when there's something that can help you right now. I don't understand what's going on in people's minds, but I've heard people say, well, I'm just going to wait for the pill. I'm glad you said, please don't do that. Any idea how much it will cost?
Well, I think it's a little bit more than $500, but that's going to be paid by the government. The government has said this is going to be free or covered by insurance, I guess, for people. So it's not an outlay. That's not the problem right now. The problem is ramping up enough supply. I mean, imagine 65,000 is not nearly to drop in the bucket when you think about how many people, hundreds of thousands a day now, are being infected. So it's super important right now with the holidays coming that people are very careful, especially in the week before they get together with loved ones, because that's the time when you think about it, if there's 1 to 3 or 2 to 4 day incubation period for Omicron, that week before people get together is really crucial. Of course, if they can get rapid testing right before, like the moment before they're about to take off their masks, that's even better. It's not perfect, but these are layers of protection. And the better the mask, the better the protection. So I'm thinking these days of really the highest quality N95 or KF94 or N95, KN95, whatever. I think the loosely fitted cloth masks or surgical masks, loosely fitted, aren't as protective. Yeah, the better the fit is really important.
Yeah. Another point that we need to keep making over and over and over again. We heard what appeared to be good news yesterday, John, where they said that the Omicron variant is not as severe as Delta and others. Do you think that that's true? What did you make of that? Because it sounded very encouraging to hear.
Yeah, there is some evidence, some suggestions from South Africa and Scotland now most recently that it could be less severe, but be very, very careful, because remember in South Africa, for example, this was in a place that had a lot of underlying immunity because Delta had swept through or some other variants had swept through the country. So it's not clear why there was an uncoupling of the big spike in cases, and you didn't see as big a spike, the same curve in hospitalizations and even in intensive care unit stays. So that was very encouraging, and we saw something similar in Scotland. But I wouldn't say to people, again, if you're unvaccinated and boosted, if you're unvaccinated, don't think that it's going to be a milder version of this virus. You shouldn't assume that at all. It can be really dangerous to do that.
Now, let me tell you something, John. You don't want to get a mild version of this virus either. Really don't.
No, you could have a long haul. You could have long haul syndrome, and we don't know what the percentage of long haul is with people with Omicron or even with people who are vaccinated and boosted. So don't have one of these parties where you say, okay, I'm going to get. I don't care. I'm giving up. I'm just going to go ahead and get infected because eventually I'm going to get infected. Don't think that way. Try to do everything you can to stay protected. And get vaccinated and boosted. We can't say that enough.
Nobody in this room is thinking that way. We're all vaccinated. And boosted up. Thank you, John.
That
Good
vaccine
to
up
see
your
you.
behinds.
For real, just stick it up there twice and use your pill.
Oh yeah, shove it up their asses.
Really, use that pill as a
Because
spot.
what it is, folks, they want the natural resources out of Azania, which is the true name of South Africa.
Yes.
That's what it is. So this is why they're putting that bullshit out there about South Africa, to make South African black people look like the villains, okay? Right. Because they want to get more next to that silicon, is what it is. They are not fooling me with prepackaged bullshit.
So they're saying that not only will the 65,000 cases of Paxlovid be available by prescription only, it will be available starting in the first week of January. Federal health officials announced this week the government will pay Pfizer $5.29 billion to deliver 110 million courses by the end of 2020. The drug maker said it expects to make a total of 120 million courses next year. And then they have a breakdown of the states that are going to receive it. California has the biggest amount, 6,180, and then it's followed by Texas, Florida, New York, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Ohio, North Carolina, Michigan, New Jersey, Virginia, Washington, Arizona, Indiana, Tennessee, Missouri, Wisconsin, Colorado, Minnesota, South Carolina, Alabama, Louisiana, Oregon, Oklahoma, Connecticut, Puerto Rico, Iowa, Arkansas, Mississippi, Nevada, Kansas, Utah, New Mexico, Nebraska, West Virginia, Idaho, Maine, New Hampshire, Montana, Rhode Island, Delaware, South Dakota, Alaska, North Dakota, Vermont, District of Columbia, and Wyoming. Wyoming has the least.
Wow. Okay. All righty. Okay, so what it is this is their smoke screen again to get in there, probably along with the Chinese, to rape the continent of Africa again for its bauxite, titanium, diamonds, gold, silicon, chrome, natural resources. Just say,
Yeah.
so that's what it is again. You see, to all our listeners out there, Brother Che, and our viewers and our supporters, with me being an old bastard, I think I've halfway reasoned it out. That is, if the Alzheimer's and senility hasn't set in yet, is that they want to bleed our continent dry. So this is why I'm saying to all them damn neo-colonialists, who are on the puppet strings of the Chinese, the Russians, the Europeans, the French, the Dutch, the British. You all are sitting up here selling our own people down the fucking river, man. And you cats are just as bad as the self-destruction that you have in the urban areas in the cities of the United States. And if our cohesiveness had meant anything and brought it all together, and the diaspora, as Brother Malcolm had mentioned in 1964, this shit here would shift within 2 weeks or less. The same principle with the NBA and the NFL that we spoke about earlier. And this is why we have created the hashtag, the resurrection of the mental dead.
Yep. Yes. That's exactly why. So I don't know if you have to go, Shabaka, but we have 3 more topics.
Okay, what I'm going to have to do, Brother Che, I'm going to have to hang it up because it's 1 a.m. of where I'm at, sir. And I appreciate you, having me on. I hope, I was consistent in what we was doing. I definitely appreciate you pulling that article up right there. It's because I'm going through a whole lot, and I should be getting to my duties, on our podcast, and our platforms, which I will be doing very, very soon. And I should know more definitely within 3 to 4 days of what my schedule would be, But hey, you got to go out here and make a living, man. You know what I'm saying? And that is what I'm doing. And then also, too, like I said, protect yourself at all times. Stay away from the fucking vax, okay? It's garbage. It's bullshit. Big Pharma is nothing more than modern-day drug pushers.
Yep, that's it.
That's all what that shit is. That is all what it is. Eat healthy. Exercise. Wash your ass. You see what I'm saying? Do wear the mask to a point, what I mean? And what I mean by to a point, don't wear it outside is because you need the air to pull other impurities, up out of your body. Because the mask will have you breathing in the impurities that should be exiting your body. Yes, so this mask game and all that old type of shit, I understand it in close quarters, but as far as being out on a public street, why the fuck should you wear a mask when you need to breathe the air to stay alive? What it is, Black family, is that this is genocide is what it is.
Yeah,
high-tech genocide.
Biological, technical barbarians.
Oh, yeah, yes, sir. Absolutely, yes. And we created the hashtag of that. You assholes out there in Silicon Game Valley with your bullshit are biotechnical barbarians. You're biological technical barbarians is what you're doing. This shit is barbarous. And keep in mind, it's very interesting, folks, that they used to refer to San Francisco as the Barbary Coast, as in barbarian. Let's connect the dots, Black family. 2 + 2 = 4. Not 5, not 3, not 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And don't let us keep pissing on our heads, telling us it's rain. Do not let them keep shitting on us, telling us it's snow.
Right.
So on that there, Brother Chair, I'm going to bid you a good night. We'll definitely be making contact there with you tomorrow. And definitely, folks, check out Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced coming up Tuesday night. Subject is pending. Definitely check out our series on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced this Sunday, God versus the Devil. You know, definitely check out the Anchorman, you know, and the Good Doctor, you know, who will be dropping a great deal of knowledge on that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have to bid you a good night. Talk to you soon.
Shabaka, thank you for coming on. Have a good night.
You too, sir, and thank you for having me. Okay.
So the last two topics are your topics.
Oh, great. Your session, that's
Yeah.
All right. Rich. All right. Great. Thank you. Thank you for our guests. Always bring that heat. Yes. Brother Shabaka go on and bring the heat. You know that
thank you
right
to
there.
Our two viewers.
Thank you to our two viewers as well. We definitely thank our sister for showing up and giving it to us the way we really needed it.
Shout out to Queen Bianca.
Shout out to Queen Bianca, yes. And I do want to say that we are in fits that were made by the family, custom fits. You know, we match. We got my little scared out of shit. I'm really happy about that. Cause that's remember when couples used to do that, you know what I mean? That's cute. It's cute. So let me get into it real quick.
So before you do that, so the last two topics are the Unhoused Neighbor News and Unhoused Neighbor Sweeps. So those that have been following us religiously over the past 42 episodes, we have been exposing the inhumane treatment of our unhoused neighbors, otherwise known as the homeless, here in Denver. And the city does these cleanups. They call them cleanups,
right? But
they're really sweeps. They're sweeping people like trash week after week, month after month. And it's been over 100 sweeps this year alone. That is double the amount of sweeps that were all of last year total. So the mayor Michael Hancoon, our current mayor, continues to usher out these sweeps week after week, month after month. And here on Frontline Black News, saying enough is enough of this. You need to house people. You have all these vacant luxury apartments in this town. We have damn near almost 30,000 vacant luxury apartments. So there's no reason why anybody who wants a home does not have a home besides corporate greed and corruption.
Right.
Go ahead.
Facts. You know, also too, I want to say that this is the holiday weekend, the holiday week. For those that celebrate the atrocities of Christmas and whatnot. And, you know, we're going to have Kwanzaa tomorrow, so we're excited about that. But this is the holiday week. And, you know, every week, every Friday, there's like a little mass email that goes out that has the days the sweeps will actually happen so that people like us and other providers, volunteers, helpers, mutual aid can go down there and help the unhoused, either with a meal, mutual support, whatever, just whatever it is that we do out there. They're out there servicing people, you know, that need help. I don't want to be rude today, so I try to be in a good mood. This is what I'm about to say is quite dysfunctional to me. Usually every week, Brother Jay, he gets the email and he'll forward it to me or whatever. And if it's in a area where we frequent the most, i.e. the east side of Denver, you know, somewhere around there that is locally where we could get to. I me myself, you know, like not that we're going the west side of town or whatnot. We I don't even know what that is. We it's serious. We have to you know, we pick where we gotta go. Let's put it that way. And so this week they snuck in 2 2 unannounced sweeps, so that the people didn't know how Deborah Homeless Out Loud found out. I had no idea because we should have
They
known. It's
find out
usually
through
on that.
Candy's office.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, that is crazy right there. Thank you, baby. I did not have no idea how they found out. Um, so I'm watching the sweep that's being filmed by uh, Anna Cornelius, and she's there. It's in the Curtis Park area, 5 Points. And I watched this. I watched this go on, and I watched what I say is profile in a tent. There was like 14 people surrounding one tent,
Yeah, at the
and
Blair Carwell.
usually these cleanup crews at 7:30 in the morning, they're already there with the forklift running over shit, and you better hurry up and get it out the way. Your ass is going down with it. They usually forklift in belongings, put it in the dumpster or in the trash compactor or whatever the fuck that is, dump truck. Um, but on this day at 7:30 in the morning, that wasn't happening. What I was looking at was the cleanup crew cutting into a tent and gently taking things out and packing it for the people and steadily profiling it. What I call profiling, it's when they hover over something they know is in there, or they know someone is whose that is, which I find is very disturbing. They never pack nobody's stuff for them. They never do. They never just help you get it in the trash can or the cans that go to the quote unquote police ran storage. You know what I mean? They never do that. They're usually throwing it in a trash compactor. But I watched this shit happen, and I'm like, ooh, my nefarious. And it was like, I hope that person don't come back today, because whatever is happening, they're gonna go to jail. The police were actively in and out of that little space with a flashlight. The cleanup crew was so gentle about the items. They even put it in their own little containers and took it around the corner, which was crazy to me. Forklift nowhere to be found. 7:30 in the morning, somebody's slacking. They're really behind schedule, because at 4 o'clock they're there putting up the fence. By 5:30, they're already there with the forklift just waiting. By 6, it's moving. So I don't understand what was going on. I was just like, how did we not know? And I felt cheated. I felt like that's that slick shit that they would do to not have nobody there to help and support these people. The other thing I wanted to say is this. I read a lot of the online newspaper called Newsbreak, and it always highlights the things that we do at City Council or what's going on with our community in Denver, Colorado, with our unhoused neighbors and whatnot. Um, and I like how these articles say that over the last 2 months, they have housed over 500 people. They put them in vouchers, and they put them in actual apartments. They gave out 542 keys in the last 2 weeks to housing or some shit like that. Or last 2 months, I apologize, last 2 months to housing. If that is a fucking true statement, please make me a believer, because I have seen in the last couple of months, I've seen the same the same 1,000 people that I have seen and camped next to for 5 fucking years on the sidewalk, still outside, right there in that main area. So you make me a believer on how this is fucking possible. What people are you really housing?
They house the people from the Coliseum and the National Western Stock Show. That's it.
I want to see the actual, I can't just go ahead and believe that, because why are the same 1,000 people still out on the sidewalk? I just need to know that, because I am feeling it. I'm so angry about it, because I'm feeling this every other week or whatever. The same people, the same individuals. You need to tell me not one of them, including in this weather, not want to get a house. You can't even make me believe that nonsense. I can't even co-sign it. I just want to know, you know what I mean? There must be special individuals or whatever, because only certain people are getting housed. I find this quite disturbing to myself. The sweeps continue. They continue sometimes on the low, on the down low, because during this week of the holidays, our mayor, our city, had no mercy, no compassion for the unhoused during this time, let alone when the weather is extremely bad. Where last week we had serious winds. We had a cold front coming in. There was serious winds and rain,
and they still swept.
and they still swept them. They could barely keep their belongings on whatever mode of cart they were transporting, and that right there is just very inhumane, very disturbing, very inhumane. And as these things are happening with our mayor, and he's making these choices when his term is up in a year or so, right? He's making
15 months.
future plans for the unhoused like 10 years in advance. And it just kind of makes me wonder how we're gonna have to fix all of these plans when they fail. And that's my thoughts on that. They continue to deny us phone calls in regards to the five, 6 people that we would like to get into housing. The 5 or 6 black people would like to get into housing. Um, and they're not being answered, no matter how many calls and emails we make. How much we try to talk to people to make sure that this happens. It is kind of kind of disheartening, um, but not to the point where either one of us is willing to give up. It's just something that needs to be put out on blast. Like, look, there's people that actually want to do this, and you shouldn't make them go through these hoops and loops when you don't do it in general. And everybody has a job, so I don't see what the problem is, because really, that's what they want. They want people to have jobs or some sort of income coming in, and that way they will help them. And they're just not saying that, but that's really what it is. And so now that those answers are being answered, service providers, Denver Police Department, the mayor, whoever's in charge of this, host, um, Britta Fisher, or whatever her name is, uh, people have jobs and they just need housing now. So what's the excuse for not returning calls and helping? That I'm putting that on blast. You're gonna do that. So I'll talk to you about this on Monday at City Council. That I believe.
There won't be city council.
Not on Monday. No, not why.
It's holiday.
All right. When the next City Council comes.
Next year.
When the next City Council comes in a week from now, right? A week from now.
The 3rd.
The 3rd. Yeah, I'm gonna discuss it then. We could discuss it on my 3 minutes of time. I really just feel like this is fucked up. um, as far as the Union Station thing is concerned, they still are patrolling it heavily. Um, which, in my opinion, they were still doing that earlier. They're just now they're more empowered by it than they should have been empowered of containing their nonsense for like the last couple of years. But the city wants their city wants their tourist location back. And I find that it's also ugly and stupid in a revolving door debt when they crush their own sitting arrangements just so the homeless people won't be there.
Crush them and fence them off.
Crush them and fence them off, yes. You had just recently passed through there, right?
Yeah.
It's just that's just whack because, like, the bids, how do you call it?
The Business Improvement District.
Yeah.
The
So
Downtown Denver Partnership.
Yeah. So you know how much money it's gonna cost to replace that.
Yeah.
Other taxpayers, and so I've only got the chance to listen to these discussions, when they talk about putting seating in certain parts of our city and whatnot, and what would look best there and how and why. So for them to crush their own shit to make a point is like, whoa, you're gonna have to put that back. That's gonna cost money, and you're replacing it. This city is starting to look like, Colorado was known for a lot of different things: mountains, lush trees, clean air, greenery, beautiful parks, It was a place to visit. It was a touristy place to visit. Who in the fuck wants to come see these giant ass boulders and silver metal troughs and orange plastic lining of fencing and poor people that are suffering outside right here in front of you? Your shame, the city's secrets and shames are exposed. You know, and there's people suffering very much in front of everyone, and there's no way to get around it. Every city now has a thriving, suffering, unhumanitarian issue. Never said it? Unhumane situation.
Yeah, it's man.
Forgive me, I don't speak properly sometimes. I tend to keep fairly where I'm going. Inhumane area structures, little tent cities, and they're getting bigger and bigger. And sooner or later, everybody might be in a tent if we keep it up at this rate. But this city looks horrible, in my opinion. I would consider myself a native Colorado, even though I'm from another state. I spent over 12 years here. So I remember what it looked like. I remember what the city looked like. I don't even want to visit the city, and I would consider myself a native of this state. A very, very a person that knows this state. The air. I know the feeling of this state. This state is my home, second home, but my home. And I live here. I really live here. I really believe in what we're doing for this city, even though I come from California, and I'm proud to say I come from California. I'm also proud to say that I was proud to say I'm from Colorado, but seeing how this is, it really hurts my soul. It hurts my soul because I was one of the people that they walk past, they judge, they whatever. I was one of those people, and I have days where I'm still one of those people inside. It is very inhumane. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the unhoused when they are recycling you housed individuals belongings that you no longer want, and you throw away, and they just want to be normal, so they try to have normal little lives for the 3-4 days that they can stay in one spot, and you criminalize them for it, and you penalize them for it, you harass them for it, and all they're doing is picking up what you don't want and making it usable for themselves to have normal lives, if you can really have a normal life out on the sidewalk. And so it is really bad and hypocritical, and it's detrimental, and it is wrong and disrespectful. And if you're not going to be part of the solution, then sit it the fuck down. And when I say part of the solution, I mean, look, we're out there for the same reasons. We're out there for the people, to be actual of service of human beings, feeding them, making sure everybody has what they need, food, shelter, everything they need, right? And don't be upset when we look out for our family first, Black first, and out of the way, it is a human issue. They are having human issues out there. That's all I have to say about that. I just need to say that. I need to say they would be more conscious. And if you buy yourself a case of water, then buy one for the homeless too. If you think about them, think that they're going to die out there with just the elements right now. People are dying. They're losing their limbs. They're losing their fingers, their legs, their feet. They're in pieces out there, and they're just trying to make it. So if you have any concern as a human being and you buy something for yourself, think about them. If you can't do that, then figure out a way to be of support, in some way. I'm not asking for money or anything. If you have something extra you can donate to that. Bring it directly to where you see homeless people. Okay, because sometimes you can't just. We don't have no service providers right now really providing actual materials that they need. So help out. If you see it on Facebook, you see a message come by that says help out if that's you can. Because they need it. They need all the support they can get. And I don't believe a third of what I read because what I see with my own eyes is what I believe. And I'm seeing people suffer. I'm seeing people being thrown out of their little makeshift homes and having to move around every 3-4 days. What happened to the 7 day thing? I guess you don't that don't exist. What happened to be kind to people? That don't exist. What happened to keeping our fucking opinions and judgments to ourselves and just being of help, of service? That don't exist. It should. It really should. Um, my mate is gonna read. I'm gonna read it. Over here. I can't see it.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're gonna read an article from a mutual person we know
From Newsbreak.
from Newsbreak.
Denver plans February campaign to place homeless.
Yes, I'll read it. This gentleman has written several, lots of good articles. All right, from David Heights, Fair Use, Newsbreak, Denver. Thank you, sir. It says, Denver, Colorado. The city and county of Denver gave 576 sets of house keys to people experiencing homelessness in the past 100 days. Where Denver plans another housing surge, as city officials call it, to help the homeless in February when the weather typically is cold and snowy. Excuse me, family. Just over 100 days ago, Mayor B. Hancock, said the Department of Housing Stability hosts an effort to get 200 people experiencing homelessness housed in 100 days. The city announced Wednesday in a news release. The housing surge concluded earlier this month with a total of 340 households, including 576 individuals, placed into housing. Now, let's just do the math. That's like over 800 people, right? Yeah, okay. All right. Although the emergency shelter at the Denver Coliseum closed during that time, the city still shuffled many people into housing. I'm like, make me a believer. Because I don't see all of that.
900 or some people.
900 and something people. I see the same thousand every week. Same 1,000 people are out there. And they're not in shelters. Shelter Network has hundreds of empty beds. I'm sorry, I apologize. Although the emergency shelter at the Denver Coliseum closed during that time, the city still shuffled many people into housing. Derek Woodbury of Host said that after the Coliseum site stopped providing shelter, the city moved people to 24/7 shelter programs or protective action hotel rooms. Using hotel rooms helps protect older people and those with underlying health conditions who are more vulnerable to COVID-19. I was in one of those at the very beginning of COVID, the protection hotel rooms. Okay. Shelter Network has hundreds of empty beds. Though our recent housing surge efforts, over 500 individuals have keys to their own homes and are housed, Woodbury added. All the while, Denver's sheltering network has hundreds of empty beds available and stand ready to assist individuals seeking shelter. Hancock said the city plans to add more housing help. Thank you. It's less that the housing is, I'm sorry, it's clear that the housing surge has been a resounding resource. Resounding success for the hundreds of people who traded tents and shelters for house keys. Hancock said in a statement, "We will continue to innovate new ways to provide housing and support for every resident in our city as we improve and expand these efforts in future initiatives." Sabrina Ellie, who works for Host, said the surge placed some former Coliseum occupants. Not everyone had an underlying health condition or age entitlement that qualified them for other programs. In fact, the very last guest to leave was placed in an apartment through the surge efforts, Ellie said, of the Coliseum, which sheltered 300 people when it closed. Is there more?
That's it.
That's it. Okay. I'm gonna close this out right here. Yeah. Okay. All right, Bradley. So, like, let me just say it like this. I believe probably the COVID protection shelters thing, the COVID hotel rooms. Yeah, yeah, that's a possibility. I mean, I was in one, uh, two of them actually. I was in two of them. At the very beginning of COVID, one and there was, if I did the math, I did programs, three voucher programs that put me right to this into where I'm at right here, which is quite disappointing. However, we can't just not say thank you and be blessed. Um, three programs which were considered failures. In my version of things. Many failures that allowed me to suffer grand atrocities. Where did they house this damn near 900 people, and when did this happen? Because if it's like that, no one was really going to the shelters. Certain people were, like a lot of women. Women it is harder. It is harder for everybody. It's harder for older women or very disabled or very sick, as well as very disabled gentlemen that are out there. People that have hard times taking care of themselves. It is quite difficult for them to be out there in the elements. This isn't just for women, and it's older men, sickly individuals, anybody has underlying conditions. Like myself, I have a heart condition. It would be very difficult, for me to exist this time out in the cold right now in this state of where I'm at. Me, you know what I mean. But this can happen to anybody. Put it that way. So there was some shelters like there's some shelters that still have the same people going to them and living in them at night. The rescue mission has a religious revolving door of the same gentlemen that stay over in the evening, as well as the Samaritan House has their new shelter, whatever, um, that have the same women that have been in there forever. Um, it's not like a big fluctuation of new people. So that's why I'm like, where are all these people coming from that they made these notes of? Because, for somebody being on the bridge program, they couldn't give me an apartment. I had to leave and get another voucher to somewhere else. Right? I couldn't even move up in the same building. And they had plenty of places for me to move up in the same building where I was familiar with versus to have to come here to, yes, a little more space, whatever. But I mean, they put me in a roach infested spot in the hottest zone. I mean, I can't even have company over without hearing hot ones flying through the air at 5 a.m. in the morning or 12 a.m. at night or 12 a.m. in the morning. I can't have conversations and do whatever without, you know, the misgivings of the neighbors and whatnot. I have to worry about someone climbing through my window. There's a lot of ugly things happening. So yes, I would have been right. I would have probably been better if they would have allowed me to grow in the building they had placed me in. But that was just stuff that they weren't allowed. They weren't going to let me do. So I want to know how this is possible for others. I want to know. I want to see that for real, for real. I don't want to believe everything you read. And if I learned anything in this last year from my own resetting and reprogramming, re-education, is to question everything. Question everything and look at it as make me believe, show, improve. That's how I've learned that has stood solidly in my mind this whole year of all the re-education and reprogramming things that I have to do for my own self to better my life so that I could, each one teach one type thing, grow as a human being. I learned question everything. So this is me questioning everything. Don't take my word for it. Just look it up. We got visuals, on our feeds because that's what we do when we're able to. Um, say real shit, Black earlier. I'm very sick right now. I don't really know how much I'm gonna really want to push myself to do what I need to do, and the dedication is there. And it's just difficult now, like very difficult. And we here are trying to trying to motivate this to go a little further because what we're doing is so serious, so important. Um, the people, the people need it. They need us to support them. They need us to bring this to attention. The corruption, the greed, the inhuman systems, they will come collapsing eventually. It's gonna take us, family. It's gonna take us to look at the situations in our cities and look at ourselves. Be like, what can we do to be of service to at least them? What is the at least the minimal we can do as human beings to think about other human beings? Homelessness is a humanitarian problem. And then you gotta look at this. What are we gonna do to protect and make sure our black family survives through this? You know, I'm gonna put that out there for you guys to think about. This could be any of our family, our natural family. This could be any of us at any given point in time. It has happened to us for years. It can happen to anybody. So instead of being unhelpful, being judgmental, being hypocrites, um, being just being an ass, period, and not caring about anything but yourself and your greed, and yes sir, and bowing down to a system that is completely fucked. Just look at it this way: how would you want to be treated if you was out there? What kind of help would you really want for yourself if you was out there? Who would you want to advocate for you? Who would you want to stand behind you and uplift you, which is a code thing? Uplift your brothers and sisters. Help them, stand behind them. Let's stay on code, family. Even if they're out there, they're out there by themselves with nobody but the community that they surround themselves in each little tent. And they seem to know what unity, standing and working together, protecting each other looks like, where we don't. We don't care about each other even when we live in houses. We don't help each other. We don't look out for our next door neighbor. We don't even know who that person is. We don't want to. Just think about that. Just think about that hostility shit right there. And think about this. Those people out there that shun and don't want to take care of and help and feed and help them get up and move forward, those people are very, very structured when it comes to learning how to survive, take care of themselves, look out for their fellow next door neighbor, help them move their things, help them situate, look out for the women in their little blocks and neighborhoods of things that they patrol right there. They know how to self-police. They know how to defend themselves. They know how to create for themselves when there is nothing for them to work with. They know how to find things. They know how to do things. We know how to do those things because we were homeless, having to do those things. So when you talk about us being afraid and what's going to happen, how are we going to survive? Thankfully, that atrocity that happened to us has prepared us for what is to lie in case we had to go completely off grid. Mm-hmm. Where we didn't have none of this bullshit right here. The internet, the phone, none of that. We know how to do for self. Take care of yourself, hunt, forage, defend, protect, help, unify. So shit that we talk about as people like us, how we just need, fuck all that. Look at your homeless community. They are doing it and they have nothing. We have at least the privilege of having this bullshit right here. And look how we act. So I'm just gonna put that out there for you to use your coded mind and black eyes and ears and heart and see that shit and realize that what we're saying is fucked up. And we need to take a note from that. Because one day when they shut all this shit down, how are we gonna live? Well, how are you gonna do it? Because we already know how we're gonna do it. We're okay. There's no fear right here of what can happen if you take away this shit. And how are you gonna move forward? Know what to do. We know what we're gonna do. Know what we're prepared to do. How far we're prepared to take it. What we're prepared to do. Are you willing to? Are you going to? Are you gonna die for it? How strong is your conviction? Right? Do you have that fear in your heart? Or you lack that fear in your heart and you just know what you're gonna have to do to ensure your survival and the survival of your family who's with you? Or what you're doing to protect your shit. How are you gonna get ready to maneuver in this city where you're gonna have to rely on barter system and trading? Think about that. What do you have that's of value? What are you saving up? What are you planning for? I was in a chat just recently. I was listening to a gentleman say he was prepared for the way the world could turn. He was prepared. He had a little family, a little wife and children and whatnot, and he had been prepared with everything you would need to survive, and in case you needed something else, what you were willing to part with and trade back and forth with people so that you can ensure your survival and the survival of others. What do you have of need? What do you have of resources? What are you willing to maneuver as far as resources? What if we don't have no money and all you need is this? You know what I mean? Like, shit, I like cigarettes. You like cigarettes? I like liquor. I know you need toilet paper. I might got that. You know, what are we willing to really do? What are we really willing to explore? And don't be defeated. You know what I mean? Don't be scared. It's always healthy to have a little bit of fear, to be scared of the possibilities of fucking the dominant society coming to a fucking scrim, crash and explosion right in front of us, because they're stupid. We get it. And we get that we have to rebuild. Let it crumble. Fuck it. If it crumbles, it crumbles. This is a positive. Family, look at it the positive way. We can rebuild all of these systems in a positive way. We don't need everybody. Not everybody's meant to go. Some of you ain't built for it. A lot of people ain't built for it. Hey, look, if you're built for being an outside field individual, you'll recognize other outside field individuals. And try to stay away from the derogatory words. Right now, and just try to be proactive. Look at it like this: you're a house individual. You like your comforts. You don't want to leave because you won't have those comforts that the man gave you. Cool. Stay back. Better for us. You just hold us back with your fucking propagandism. No, we ain't going up. No. The field ones are outside looking at the North Star like that way. Wind says good, let's go. You know what I mean? Let's go. And we're gone. While you stay in the house, and you think it's warm and comfortable out there, some of us will put their comforts out to ensure an actual life later on for a future. We're playing the long game now, family. A long game. Tangibles. We're doing what's going to be right. If the world shuts down, what are you prepared to do? I'm looking at the homeless people. I'm taking notes. What can I do? What was I willing to do when I was homeless? And trust and believe, when I was homeless and I was hungry, I had no what you call it, moral compass. I had no compass for what I was willing to do to make sure I eat, or make sure my tent partner, whoever was with me, was warm, fed every night. What I had to do to wash myself in my own tent, to keep myself clean, because it's a hard world out there. You know what I mean? And those things that people don't think about. What I had to do as a woman in those situations, as a woman out there, that's really disturbing. And it was very unhelpful sometimes. But now I know what to do. I had to go through that to learn what I was willing to do and how I could teach people the knowledge that I was taught to survive out. People looked out for me and taught me great skills that I would teach somebody else, because I could have died out there because wasn't ready. It wasn't ready to be on the sidewalk. I wasn't ready to lose everything and not be able to get up off the ground and dust myself off. And so, if you think black people won't help you, it's a goddamn lie. because that's all that helped me. Yeah, so we gotta stop looking at each other in that way and say too that all it's our people, blah 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 blah. They're the worst. Da, 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 da. In this case, and from personal experience, no. There was the ones that had the smartest motherfucking capabilities of building a lean-to, finding resources, being able to show you how to take care of yourself when you are out there disabled, sick, and not being able to take care of and provide for yourself. And I'm telling you, Black family, look at your Black family members that are out there in the street, homeless. Don't ever take them for granted because they are the smartest ones. They're the smartest ones. They're the ones that white people look at and take from them on how they learn to survive. Real shit. So I'll leave that with you guys for you to have food for thought, to take care of and look at our people. They're out there. And in the worst case scenario, the dominant society coming to scream a collapse of their fucking own bullshit. It's okay. It's all right. We've built civilizations before. This will be no big whip, and we can really do it right. We can really sit back and think how we would want a system to be replaced with actual justice, like Neely Fuller Jr. says, and we support the new black media. And people who want to go into politics for their real side to change things, and we look to, like, oh, I'm looking to you, and right now you have 15 months to hone yourself to be better for the people. You know what I mean? Like, look at it that way. There's time to hone and create your function right, your gender, your driver, the way you would want to see it happen for yourself, because you are the little guy. Still, how would you want to have somebody? You know, you got to put it in that perspective. And so we're blessed that we get to watch the growth of this, of this for real, because times are going to change. Time is changing, and the winds are blowing in a positive way for us, family. May not right now. You don't see it because you just feel defeated. You're hurt. You don't want to do it. You want to give up. I get it, guys. I get it. Okay. And like I said the other day, this is my last breath. I want to see this happen. I want to see us from the bottom come to the top where we should be, should have been, should be, where our children should be. When we won't get to see our great grandchildren be there, but at least I have a good foot to say our ancestors left us a way to climb out this hole. They left us footholds to climb out, and here we are. So we're praying for that. We're gonna leave the ancestors to help us with that. Happy holidays, Kwanzaa, and everything like that. Join us. I haven't did the RVA yet. I've been very sick. This is a major thing for me to be right here in front of y'all. So let's not take that for granted either. But the RVA will be showing here shortly, probably. I'm assuming Monday, whatever. We have to deal with Kwanzaa, so we got to celebrate and do our Kwanzaa specials and whatnot. But on the RVA, we are going to be examining 3 different movies that are very current, brand new movies that are very current with what's going on in politics, what's going on in the world, and is actual signs of what could happen and what we need to really, really prepare for, to not be naive about it, because it is really happening. And the things that they're showing, obviously they're not predictions. They're just like our sister said. It's right there in our face. We're just not paying attention to it. And it's actually going on. So we need to prepare for ourselves. And at least we have conscious individuals that can see with their eyes how to maneuver around this. And so we're going to examine that. They're very, very, very powerful movies that I will be talking about in the RVA. I have one other topic that was very serious, so I don't know, how I run long. I just want to tell you guys that it will be happening here shortly, and please join us for our political prisoner with Understanding tomorrow. Was it God? Oh, it's tomorrow. Yeah. God versus the Devil Part 3. Part 3. Just look for the messages coming through Facebook on that, on Brother Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, which is the housing platform for this particular adventure. And I want to thank you for his time as well. Uh, Please join us. Thank you, Brother Che, for bringing the tangibles. You know, you do. You just, I don't know. It's a new year. The new year is coming, and if we didn't have tangibles for 2020, 2021, and now we're heading into 2022 of tangibles, and it's just like Mr. She said, right? Um, it's not a sprint. It is a marathon. But luckily, if y'all pay attention, this marathon is going pretty fucking fast. You know, we just feel like what a whole year on tangibles 2021.
Yeah.
It just seemed like yesterday that we started it. So then we started really going hard on Frontline Black News with it. So thank you for hanging out with us. This is our almost our close, right? Of
Yeah.
our 2021 Frontline Black News sessions. Just want to tell you thank you again. Without you, a lot of my growth would not have happened. And so, you know, we always think that you are the people is what helps the Black agenda move forward. You
Yep,
know.
this is the last show of 2021.
Mhm.
So yes, thank y'all for tuning in to episode 42 of the Frontline Black News. We'll be back next week at our regular scheduled time of 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time with episode 43 of the Frontline Black News.
The beginning of
on
Tangibles 2022, right?
New Year's Day of 2022.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the new change, but I'm also excited for Mr. Crew over here to say, welcome to Tangibles 2022. And where are you Biden supporters at?
Yeah, I'm waiting on you.
Just been waiting. You know, we've been waiting. We obviously know you went back to sleep. And we're clown you a little bit more. So, you know, we just want to tell you guys thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Black Family, for the support, all the support. You just have no idea how grateful we are, even if it's ugly support. We enjoy that too. That motivates us to do better.
Mm-hmm.
And join us later for all of our other broadcasts and programming. And thank you. Bye-bye.
Peace, love, light, and Black empowerment. We're out.